Hi, this is Carolyn Ketchel. Thanks for joining us as we have coffee together. I'm so glad to be talking with you today about something that is near and dear to my heart, which is the Lazarus Project. About 7 years ago, I asked the question about what happens to the indigent poor or those who die without means to bury themselves in Okaloosa County. Every county is responsible for burying people when next of kin or no arrangements have been made. In our county, that can be infants. We have infants this year that parents have given birth to at the hospital and have no way to bury them. Funeral costs are very expensive. We also have 102-year-old women and men who outlive their children and have made no arrangements for themselves. When that occurs, the county makes every effort to find next of kin, but many times people don't have anybody that wants to take care of the expenses. So the county has found a way to give a very dignified burial. The question that I ask is, after we do the cremation, what happens to them? And a lot of the answer was, really, we don't know. I called everybody who had had the contract and found out that many of them were still sitting on shelves in funeral homes. So we called together all the area ministers and clergy and non-denoms from all faiths, and it's very ecumenical, and ask everybody to come to plan an unusual service, and that is exactly what happened. 6 years ago, we took up a collection in area churches to consider buying burial plots, and we found that people were very generous, and we were able to locate this in the center of Beal Cemetery. It is called a place of peace, and it's right by the peace, and it's our beloved dead. And we call it the Lazarus Field for the poor man in Luke. This has turned out to be an absolutely beautiful service. We have probably 30 area churches and others involved this year. A rabbi who is speaking. It's a wonderful ecumenical outreach in our community. It really isn't per se Christian, it's just a burial service, and it's a lovely way for us to say goodbye to those who have been part of our community but perhaps might have been invisible to us at this time. For instance, if you're in a nursing home, very few people know that. If you've outlived your friends, and at 102, a lot of people have outlived their friends and their children. Also, we have those who have just been found, especially this year. I was talking with the funeral director this morning at Emerald Coast Funeral Home, and he's been very involved with this from the beginning, and he buried 60 people last month from COVID. This has been a very unusual year, and a year of high deaths from all natural causes as well as, unfortunately, COVID. We've had an amazing turnout of area clergy persons from all walks of life. Here's something that each one of them have found as they have participated in the ceremony over the years.
This Lazarus Project is something that I have supported from the very beginning because I see its impact on the faith community. Life is precious, and people who do not have a family or even friends that are able to remember that person's life and the meaning of her life, his life, the significance of it. This is an important part where the faith community comes together.
When Commissioner Ketchel first contacted me about 5 years ago to be a part of the Lazarus Project, I immediately jumped on that. Main reason being is that these people that can't afford to have their own funerals or have been forgotten or outlived all their families do indeed deserve to be recognized for the life that they lived. And what better way to do it than by doing this Lazarus Project.
And so it was a wonderful opportunity to get to meet other ministers in the community, because we had not known some of them, but we found that we could all come with one cause and one purpose, and to serve the community and provide a service that would honor those who have been unclaimed and deceased.
Having the heart of a pastor, that rang a bell for me. This is truly an event and a ceremony that, whether I'm part of it, I would attend it anyway, just because of the Lazarus, the scripture in the Bible that referred to the poor man Lazarus, and I'm happy to be part of it. And believe it or not, my first go around this year, I was asked to participate in the program, and I happily accepted that and look forward to even trying to get a ceremony and a place of burial started in Walton County.
My name is James Bass. I'm with the Emerald Coast Funeral Home here in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. We have helped Chairman Ketchel for the last 5 years with the Lazarus program, and we think it's a stellar program. It leads into a lot of what we talk about and what we think about in funeral service. It gives the families that we serve and other families that we don't serve an opportunity to go and offer some time at a place with their loved one.
So on November 2nd, we will come together as a community at Beal Cemetery at 10 o'clock. Anybody is welcome to come. It is no longer than an hour-long service. We have 2 churches that are participating with choirs, and the music is quite beautiful. Most people, after they attend, have the same reaction. Wow, I hope my funeral is this nice. It is a lovely, lovely ceremony. Each of the cremains are set out in a beautiful green velvet bag so that if loved ones attend, they can find their loved ones. And we have a book of life where we enter the names of those who have died and a date of death if we know it. And it's a wonderful way to celebrate lives and give the idea that all life had meaning and those who died had a dignified end. One thing I feel about this is that it is sacred work, and by that I mean that is the last thing you can do for somebody and they cannot repay you. And everybody that has been involved in this has come back year after year because they feel that it is a special recognition and really speaks well of our community that we would take the time to give each person that we have found a dignified resting place. I ask you to please join us November 2nd. In some communities, it's known as All Souls Day. It is a way to recognize those who have died this year, and we ask you to join us as we bury 40 individuals that have walked among us in our community in Okaloosa County. Thanks for joining us today.
Coffee with Carolyn.